Good Sunday evening, San Carlos. So my last Sunday in town, and my wounds are healing reasonably nicely. I took the band-aids off, and the polysporin and skin regeneration cream I brought from Canada is working wonderfully. And I'm bombing through my alcohol, my open bottles, because I can't take them with me. I'm taking some Tanduay and some anti-player back to show and share with the Westerners back home. I actually like anti-player, it's pretty damn smooth. My teeth are blue from the blue Caraco that I'm drinking. Yeah, but I want to get rid of the bottles. So it's been an interesting day. I'm part of several pages. Some of them I plug on this channel often. With no gain for me. I'm not really active, or I don't gain any support back. I like to support other small channels and other small pages. And because I'm doing a sublet here, and I was hoping to fill that last room before I go, blah, blah, blah. Several of the pages are geared towards expats coming over here or whatever. And I don't ever ask to post things on them. But today I filled an order for one guy where I'd asked him a week ago if I could. And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And today it's like, but I want you to pay me a fee and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro, I'm locked out of all my accounts. It's part of why I'm going home. I got Gcash, I got PayPal, that's it. And they're both empty. I mean, I had to buy a plane ticket, right? I had to feed my baby and my woman before I go. I had to pay with the electric bill. I have zero funds, right? That's the whole reason. And I explained all this to him, and he was just, no, I remember you. You're an asshole. Well, I've never ever said anything bad. It's like one or two other people I posted on their channels, or I've been a guest on their channels, and now it's like I never hear from them. They didn't come and check out the restaurant like they said they would when I was open. It's like, holy shit, guys, is it hard to be loyal in this country anymore? Like, maybe in this world. I mean, I'm very old school. I believe in honor. And so, if you do me a solid, I do you a solid back. I mean, I don't feel like, they need to do anything that's going to cost them any money or grief. One guy, he doesn't do collabs because he just got too much hate on his channel when he did them with me. And I don't really see why he cares, but he does. So what can I say? I can't force someone to grow a pair, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's been very interesting. It's like the third of the 8 or 9 pages I'm on. And this one particular guy I even took hate for him. I'm not going to go into names or anything, but for defending him and saying, I thought he was a nice guy, from haters and trolls that, sometimes comment about me or make videos about me. And they were like trying to trash talk the guy and sharing all these stories about how he's a scammer, he's a this, he's a that. And I was like, I don't know. I never knew any of that stuff because I don't go into researching everybody I talk to and I encounter. I treat people how they present themselves to me. I don't really care about their past that much, to be honest. I mean, if I found you used to eat babies and kick dogs, okay, maybe I don't like you as much because as people know from my channel, I like animals. And baby doesn't taste that good. I'm just kidding. Baby cows do. Tasty. Veal. But no, on a serious note, it's just one of those things where there's not enough collaboration and just cooperation. I understand that a lot of the expats here are much like me, expats without pensions, especially here on the YouTube. So they need to make money almost any way they can. Okay, I'm in the same boat. At the same token, I don't ask the guys who I collab and do guest appearances on their channels to pay me for those. And I guarantee you, when you have me on your channel, your clicks go up because I'm an interesting motherfucker, right? So that being said, I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not all worried about what people think. People are going to watch just to see what I'm going to say, especially if you try and get me with got you questions, because I love those. Years and years and years in politics have just honed those skills. It's kind of like on the pages, right? Like there was one guy on one page there who didn't like that I was over here. And he tried to insinuate that men over here who are Canadians of my age must be pedophiles because we're here in the Philippines. It's like, bro, my woman's in her mid-20s. And this guy had like a great big Taliban beard, just totally looked like a goat shagger. And so I said that to him, like, I don't care, And then I look on his page and he's mooching for money. I'm at least offering a service. I'm entertaining. So if at the end of my spiel I say, "Oh, donations appreciated," that's common on the YouTube, because people on YouTube they either are monetized, or they will use that money to continue to bring better content, to travel around a little bit, to show stuff, to upload, whatever, right? But just to be on your Facebook page with a general mood question, a GoFundMe, for no real reason, that's mooching, right? That there's a difference there. It's like I said in other videos, if you're a homeless guy just sitting there with your hand out, I ain't giving you nothing. You're a homeless guy playing an instrument, I'm going to give you a little something, because you've got a talent and you're at least sharing, you're making the area a bit nicer with your music, right? But it's just one of those things where it was interesting. It was just interesting. It was a couple of them today, and I was just like, what? So, and as much as I hate to throw a compliment to everyone's favorite troll, Sick Grandpa, he was right about the one guy. I didn't think the guy was such a jerk, but I guess he's right. What do I know, right? So, score one for the little troll, Danny DeVito's uglier cousin. But it's one of these things where it's even another guy. I was watching his channel today, a new guy that I'm following. And sure, he's not hating on other YouTubers as much today, but he was hating on what some YouTubers are doing because they're trying to help out struggling expats. Like, that's some sort of horrible idea, and why should they do that? What are they doing that for? It's like, bro, why not do that? Like, have we gotten so far away from real compassion that we only have fake compassion now? That helping someone else out who's down on their luck or living on the street or whatever is somehow considered bad? Like, I don't know. Here's like, I admit some of the guys that he talked about sound like they're selling a whole bunch of bullshit, right? Trying to say they're Filipino citizens and then, this and that. We all know, if you're a Westerner, becoming a Filipino citizen is ridiculously hard. It's just not practical. And I mean, I know there's a Canadian young kid. Maybe he might get that opportunity at some point, only because he's so bloody young. He's got the time it takes. But it's a lengthy procedure. And I would also question, especially if you're Canadian, why would you want to? We have the second best passport in the world. Only Japan has a better passport. Only Japan has more open entry, no prerequisite of pre-visa arrival status than us. It's the best passport. That's one of the only things that I can say good about Canada anymore, is the passport and the beautiful environment. You drive through the mountains in Canada, you do the prairies, it's really nice. And this summer I'm going to do some road trips because I think it's great content. And, well, in case I never go back, I want to have that on my channel, right? I did a few driving around through the thick forests of Ontario on my blog last year and last summer. Just to have them, right? Same reason why I'm doing certain videos with, say, my daughter, or just in general, because YouTube lives forever, right? It's one of these things where even if somehow I lose the channel and I get blacklisted, it's on the way back. It's on the dark web. All the videos, all the things you've uploaded exist somewhere for eternity. So it's like a permanent archive. It's a permanent cloud. So no, it is what it is. So I'm on my last day here. I'm doing my very last night in Cebu. And of course, this week, all my videos will just be fantastic and full of information. So I do say like, follow, subscribe. I really want the subscriptions to go up. So, if you have a channel and you tell me, oh, I'm subscribed. Okay, I will click on your little face. I will find your channel and I will subscribe back. Because I believe in helping smaller channels and pages out. I do. It costs me nothing. Why not, right? And if someone says, well, I don't want to have that on my viewer, I'm like, nobody looks at that, you paranoid chump. Honestly, do you know what I mean? And it's not like you're liking, Taliban Central or SS Soldiers for Life or some weird effed up page like that. It's another anonymous blogger, another anonymous Facebook page. Nobody is checking who did you like, who are you allied with. And if they are, They got too much spare time in their hands. It's kind of like I said, I know that a lot of the trolls and the haters do make up a lot of crap. Stuff that's not in anybody's videos, but they will preach it like it's gospel in their videos or in the comments. And it's like, people need to use a little bit of analytical thought. How on earth would some rando on the internet know any of the crap they're spouting? You know, the personal details of someone, personal relationships, political beliefs, unless those people have posted on their blogs. In which case, throw up a link. I'm all for documentable, verifiable intel. But now, I don't know, maybe it's the last 10 years, 15 years, maybe even the last 20 years, it's just become acceptable to just make up whatever you want about someone you don't like and hope it sticks. You know, like, I'll use America as an example. Mr. Trump has brought out the National Guard because so many of the cities there had become completely unsafe for normal people to go out at night. I mean, when New York is telling you don't have nice jackets in the winter because people might steal them from you, what? Or don't shop at great stores because people will follow you home to rob you. What? That's not the message the government should be giving. That's not what you're paying your taxes for. Plain and simple, it's cold in New York, so you don't want a cheap little windbreaker from Walmart. You want a decent winter jacket so you don't freeze your cajones off. 2, government has 2 choices. Crack down on those criminals, or give me the right to self-defend. Because the whole reason why I'm paying taxes is to be protected from scum. Otherwise, just let me do it myself. I'm more than happy to be their huckleberry. And there are people who can't do that, but they can hire someone else to do that. That's what a lot of people do with their private securities and things like that. So, if the answer instead is we're going to do nothing and you can't protect yourself, then there's clearly a fault in the system. And so, Mr. Trump, President Trump, aka Orange Man Bad, is just doing that. And murders and violent crimes and carjackings have fallen drastically in DC since he did that. And I watched old comics from the 90s and guys like Dave Chappelle in the early 2000s who grew up in DC, who would talk about how violent it was and how crazy it was and how, you know, that was back then. You think it got any better with all the harder drugs that have come out? The shrimp people, sure, once they get to the stage where they're just shrimps on the street and twitching, they're not committing too much crime, but they didn't just start that way. That's years of that abuse, destroying the nerves, destroying the brain cells. On the way up there, they're hardened criminals. They're doing the carjackings, they're doing the home invasions, they're doing the chasing people through the malls with machetes. So, you know, governments worldwide have 2 options. Either you let people defend themselves, which they do here in the Philippines. If you break into my house, I'm allowed to do whatever I want to because you climbed a wall and kicked in a door to get here. Or 2, do the job for me. Keep me safe from these people and punish them when they get caught. It's not unheard of. And there was 1 or 2 of these guys who I've helped out with immigration questions and whatnot, who are just complete morons. They're butt kissing to the left. And it's like, bro, you are over here as an American in the Philippines dating a woman half your age. Do you think that the Democrats back home think you're a hero? No. You can kiss their ass and be anti-Trump all you want. They still think you're a scumbag. Because under their books, you should also be sitting at home with no woman, being poor. So you can vote for them to help get rid of the bad orange man. When it's like the orange man is the only one who doesn't give a shit what you're doing with your money. In fact, he's sending you bogus money, bonus money. Some people call it bogus money because it comes from tariffs. That's right, it didn't come from some rich guy in your country crushing his ability to create more jobs or buy more things. Because even if a rich guy isn't producing jobs out of the extra money he's making, he's buying stuff. He's going out to dinner and hiring those, so those cooks have jobs and those waitresses get tips and jobs. He's buying clothes, hopefully made in the States, or at least in a store that's hiring a retail worker. Like, I believe strongly that the rich people, and let everybody keep as much money as they possibly can because they're going to spend it in the economy. Giving it to governments that have their finger up their butt and are giving it all away to other countries is just insanity. But that's the way the left is now in America and Canada. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. And so when I hear people who are over here in the Philippines, expats, trying to preach how bad Trump is. It's like, are you on crack? Is your brain damaged? Why are you kissing their ass? It's like these people who go to these rallies in the stateside who are multicolored alphabet people, and they're preaching like, oh, go Palestine, we're XYZs for Palestine. The Palestinian people would execute you on sight. They don't support your crazy alphabet lifestyle. To them, you're worse than scum. You need to be executed right away. They would tie you to a stick or tie you to a wall and throw rocks at you until you die. So why are you advocating for them again? Same thing to expats over here. And lately, I just point blank, I can see, would you rather Camilla have one? It's ridiculous how dumb people have gotten. And it's part of why I'm not in the West anymore. Now, I don't like to do politics on this channel, but I couldn't help it. Because like I said, I'm just seeming to have this sour taste in my mouth all day today. Every time I'm interacting online, it's like, what? From greedy, dishonorable people to outright Looney Tunes. And I'm worried. I was home for the summer, but I didn't really interact much with the North American population. I was busy fixing up my house that my family had destroyed, fixing up vehicles so I could sell them off because I don't need to have 20 vehicles anymore. I don't live there. I'm not wanting to go back. And running my business to have money to come back. So I really wasn't out and about. And I won't be this time either. I'm going to be there really just to do the same thing again. Selling stuff off, doing my business to keep my clients happy, and fixing things in the house I didn't get time to fix, or if they ruin them again in 4 months, fixing them again. So it's just one of these things where I'm not really even really home when I'm home. It's one of these things where, yeah, I'm back there, but I'm not interacting. And that's the thing, I think that's for the better. I've lost my zen. So whereas last summer, and for a few years now, nothing bothered me. No matter what I heard or saw, I just shrug it off. I was immune to it. Now I'm feeling more grouchy. I'm feeling more vocal about things. And I know that's the path to ruin, because you're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to post things. You're not allowed to be a hater. Unless you're a random troll. If you're an ugly guy who travels around the world so the governments can't catch up with you, then you can be as trollish and fictitious as you want, and there's not really much anybody can do about it, right? But for me, I'm in two places with known addresses. If I am a hater too much, I'm gonna get shut down. It is just the way it is. So, and with Canada, they'll take my passport away, take away my ability to have bank accounts, put me under house arrest. It's crazy the laws they're adding there now. So, at the same token, I am glad to see they're fixing certain parts of the immigration policy. However, I think it's a little too late, but especially when they don't allow decent people in who would actually be good workers, like the Filipino people. If I was in charge of the government, Philippines, Thailand, all these places with hardworking people, no problem. The countries that don't want to become hardworking people, don't want to be part of a useful part of society, no. You stay in your places with your dirty rivers and your crazy thoughts, right? So it is what it is. This is probably going to be one of the last posts like this for a while, because I really don't want to get into the negativity of the expat community over here. I try to make my videos about stuff you're going to encounter over here and learning things and answering questions you guys have. But now it's like, shit, I'm trying to make friends over here. And even, I had no problem with Genset. The people I was meeting in Genset were all sane, not all, okay. Majority of the people in Genset I was meeting were like me, conservatively minded, dare I say right wing, people who just were sick of the West and liked the cheapness of living over here. And so, boom, that's why they're here, right? But the idea that there's some sort of, virtue signaling from over here, being pro-left, it's like, what? Like, the left has no use for you. You're over here because of the way the West has turned based on lefty governments. Like, who the hell wants to live in a place where you can't go out at night? where you can get carjacked at any time, where loved ones can be shot and killed while they're out jogging, or raped, just because they look too good, and these people are from places where they see an ankle, they get horny. Like, you're here for a reason, aren't you? If it's so wonderful and you think that the Democrats are so great, why are you here? And like I said too, the average Democrat hates you. You're a passport bro. How dare you want to have a great life for a good price with a wonderful woman? You know? Like I said, the irony, the hypocrisy of it is mind-boggling. So, if you have a channel, left or right, I don't give a shit, I'll still subscribe. I may never watch your crap, if your stuff is crap. And you don't have to watch mine. Subscribe, I'll subscribe back, blah, blah, blah. It's just to get up to those magical numbers, folks. Especially since some of the channels I'm watching are not that high. I mean, some of them are definitely demonetized territory, but their videos aren't stimulating enough to really have enough views. I mean, I was actually kind of disappointed because the one guy I found, the one I took the expat without pension from, I liked his video, the first two I watched. And yeah, I was still doing hate videos on other people, but they were kind of okay. They were mediocre. But so far I haven't seen anything useful from his page. So I'll probably stop watching him too. I mean, the fact that he was hating on people for helping expats who are down on their luck. It's like, and then one, just like, because this one girl, which I know the girl, actually, I've shared two of her posts on my channel. Because someone else interviewed the expat first. The whole point to having channels is to spread information and awareness. At least it should be. It shouldn't just be all trollism and clickbait. But that being said, I mean, is it hateful if I do the same post for my audience that maybe they didn't see on another channel? I think it's cheating for sure, and it's definitely not as good as original content. But I don't think it's hateful. I don't think you need to put them to the gallows for it. Do you know what I mean? So, now, at the same token, these same people, I don't want to use the term fools, but I mean, really? What other term is appropriate that's not too harsh? Who promote guys like that retard with the laundromat and the old ancient woman and the 4 kids who got the assault beef and stuff. Like, there's a reason why he's in Cambodia. Nobody should even be talking about this guy. Because every time you do, you're giving him views. You're giving him recognition. It's like, don't feed, you know, the raccoons in your backyard if you don't want them to keep coming by and ripping apart your garbage. Or don't give a crackhead some money because he'll keep knocking on your door and asking for more. I mean, it's the same concept. So, on that note, since I actually have a whole bunch of great content, I can make new, fresh content every day, and I do try without needing to resort to trash talking other workers and other bloggers and page people. This will be the last time I mention any other pages or people, I think. I don't like how I seem to be nice to them and show reasonable amounts of loyalty, so much so that I even get some hate for it. And then when I'm trying to be sociable to them or helpful to them, or I ask for a favor, like, let me post something on your page, Facebook, I get a bullshit answer, like, give me money. No, I'm not giving you money. So, walla, walla, is what we say over here when the little beggars come out with their hand out. And people, I mean, here's the thing, I've only had maybe the same 4 or 5 people donate money to me. Of the, like, well, according to Facebook, you know, 390 people sent comments last month. So to only have the same 5 sending me a little bit of pennies here and there, I mean, is not a good percentage. I mean, we're talking about less than 5%, right? I don't get butt sore for it. I'm blessed for anybody who does send something. But to be like almost exploitive or, you know, truly transactional about it, it's just saddening, to say the least, especially when people who aren't well liked. Like, you know, if you were really well liked, like I watch a show, I was watching it since the channel only had 20,000 people. Now it's at like 6 million or 5.5 million. Crazy amounts. And it's a hilarious show, right? He's just rehashing old conspiracy theories and old things, but he does it from a scholarly angle. Like, he tells the story, tells the facts, and then he sums it up, and he's got this cool little fish sidekick. It's a great show. and mostly weekly, at least one show. Right? He doesn't do it every day. He's not like like one of those people, but um, he offers something to the community. That's why his videos are good to watch, right? And why, yeah, I have no problem watching them. In fact, in some of his super chats, like last year for New Year's, I threw $20. I was of the means that $20 was nothing, and I've gained hundreds of hours from watching his show. So, and I do love Lord Hucklefish. So I have a little plush toy from my daughter. My original daughter. I'll get one for this daughter too, probably for Christmas. But it's just one of these things where there is a lot of just wasted, useless channels out there for sure. And I definitely don't want to become one by getting involved in the expat circle of hate, we'll call it. I mean, I don't care if they want to say shit about me, but because I know I'm fine. Yeah, I ask for some donations here and there because since the cyclone, I've been locked out of all my funds. I got home really by just the grace of my ingenuity and being able to have multiple businesses back home that I can turn on and turn off whenever I need to, right? And I needed to. Can't be over here with zero cash. And Christmas and New Year's Eve are very big in my businesses back home, so I might as well be there to make that money. But if you go back before I came to San Carlos, I don't think I ever even once asked for a donation. It just I didn't think I had enough followers to be asking for donations. I still kind of don't, but people told me I did, and I should, and so I do, right? But so on that note, thank you to all those who have blessed me with a donation. I hope that it comes back and pays you well in karma. For some of you, like the one guy who bought the tables for the bar, as soon as he comes over, I mean, he's going to have a whole bunch of free meals. And I will be reopening the bar here in San Carlos pretty much the day I get back. And I'm going to be working on trying to open up Gensan by February, maybe right after Valentine's Day. Because I'd like to, if I don't go to Thailand in January, go for Valentine's Day. My woman wants to go bad. By then I should have enough money. It's not expensive to take a Filipina to Thailand, and since so few of them ever get out of the country, and Thailand lets them in relatively easy, why not, right? Thailand is heaven on earth. If you haven't been, you're cheating yourself hard, right? But that being said, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great night. And tomorrow's videos will pretty much just be the pack up. I'll just probably do one video because I have a lot of chores tomorrow. And then the day after is the beginning of the Exodus. The day 3, December 3rd, is my day in Cebu. And then the 4th will be in the air. And then I might do videos on the 5th and that, but maybe not because I'll be in the air and I'm not going to be able to post them. So we'll see how that goes though. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell if you can. Tell a friend because, I'd love to get that numbers up to 500. And I'm always here for questions. I haven't had any mailbag since I've been to San Carlos, which is weird because with all the hate I get from my videos, you'd think people would have some questions. And of course, tomorrow night, Monday night, here in the Philippines, so Monday morning in Canada, I will be having my live stream where people can actually interact directly with me in real time. So 9 p.m. San Carlos time, or I think it's 9 or 10 a.m. Ontario time. Log into the channel and come chat with us live. Have yourself a great night, folks. Ciao.